We've got a few roads that he's already clipped and getting ready to go on that. So we'll keep everybody updated on the different days and what roads he's on through you, of course. And we've got the Lookout Lake Dam. We're going to start the grubbing part of that next week. Hopefully get the silt fence and all the erosion and stuff. That's a project, as people don't know, that haven't been keeping up in the last few years. That's a mandated state repair on a dam out there on the mountain. We're going to have to lower that dam about 4 feet, and also the water level will be brought down another 3 to 4 feet from what it is. And it's a Category 1 dam that was classified by the state years ago, which is a dangerous dam. If it were to break or breach at capacity, that watershed would go all the way through Cloudland Canyon, all the way down the mountain, and would actually come out down at the Canyon Estates area. That's where the runoff is, for the canyon. So it's something that we've got from the day we start work. We've got 6 months to bring that up to code or up to par for the state. And when we're finished with that, it'll be a Category 2 dam, which will be a safe dam. And so it's been going on for years and years. We finally got the actual drawings approved by the state through our engineering firm, and we're going to try to get that fixed.
So, all right. I had someone ask me just yesterday, about White Oak Gap, County Road 6.
That's right. That's
and
something else.
What was the time frame?
Yeah, we're under a time frame on this dam, of course. And we're doing this in house, so we're gonna have a lot of our men working on it also. But immediately when we'll probably start both of them. We've got to get started on this and get this dam lowered because of the weather. And White Oak Gap Road, which that's going to be another long, lengthy process. That road will be closed for a while when we do that. And we may put one more, just a small patch on it to get by, but instead of close, we don't want to close it until we actually break ground that day, and that way we can work. If we have to, we'll work 5, 6, 7 days a week on it to get it fixed, put back. But it is a major. It's not going to be a fix up there. It'll be actually a permanent repair, like we did up on the upper part of the mountain. So I'm looking at we'll probably start that job in the next 30 days. I would say you'll see that started, on the side of the mountain. But we've got to get this. We're under a timeline with the state of Georgia on this dam out there on the mountain, and we've got to get on that thing, get it started. And once we get that going and get it started, and get everything laid out, on that, then we'll go ahead and try to get started on the White Oak. But I don't want to start it, on the mountain, especially the road up there. It's so heavily traveled, we don't want to start that and have to pull off of it, and with our men. And so
I mention there will be detours while that's going on.
Oh yeah. A detour on both those roads, but of course the one on Sand, the one County Road 6, there's so much traffic on that road, and that detour, it'll go back just like it used to be. They'll have to go to the top of the mountain, come back, up the top, and come back across the brow there, back down. So there is a detour for that. And out on Fondon, it's the same way. It's just it's going to inconvenience some of the people that are closer to the dam. But we look for that project to take us roughly about 2 months, and I think that's overestimating. I mean, that's with good weather. We've got good days here to work, good long summer days, and so we should be able to get in there and get that done. The biggest time-consuming part is we're having to build a box culvert to replace those temporary pipe. They put some temporary pipe in there years ago, back when actually the county was fine back, I think it was during Ben's administration, and they had to come back in, and they put these temporary pipe in to control the water there in case it were to get up, it would actually take the flow. But all that out there now that you see is just temporary. And when we leave there, when it's finished, there'll be a permanent box culvert there. They'll be there forever. And so it's not, it's something that we should be able to do, get in and out of there, in a couple of months. That is one time-consuming thing. The other thing is actually we've got a company there's a siphoning system that's got to be installed, a permanent siphoning system that will be an emergency thing in case it does come up, and in a say 100-year flood, it'll actually kick in and it automatically primes itself, and we will keep the level of the lake at a level. that's approved by the state. So there's a lot to it, but hopefully we won't have that road closed, any longer than that. Hopefully, less time. If the weather works for us, you never know about Mother Nature and rain. So,
Well, that is true. You just recently passed the budget. It'll go into effect
True.
July the 1st. We're getting word that now sometimes folks don't realize where different monies come from or whatever, but the state forecast and the governor has revised the and to the good, because his first estimate as far as the revenues for the state of Georgia was down about 14%, and then he went to 11. Now he's thinking about 10. So the economy is kind of bouncing back, but a lot of our revenue here comes from either sales tax that is derived here in the county or through property tax.
that's correct.
So there is some agencies that are funded, some by the county and some by the state, and I'm assuming those agencies that are funded by the state will be affected.
Like the health department,
Right.
DFACs, people like that, yes. But I've been in contact constantly with Don. Of course, Don's out. His wife is having some problems, some sickness there, but we've in contact pertaining to our millage rate and all that. And right now, there's no insight for any increase in millage rate right now. I mean, as far as that's looking at numbers that we've got and we're projecting, and that's taking everything, in that.
Well, that would
that's
be
looking,
that, of course that
Yeah.
goes directly to property tax.
That's right. And which is big. That's what everybody looks at. Is my taxes going up? Well, and some people, we've had people in that's questioned. They had a reappraisal of the property. That's the assessor's board and all that. And of course, we don't have anything to do with that. But we had people come in. I've had as many people complain about their property value not changing or going down that I have people's property going up. You got people that's wanting to sell their house and they're mad at us or mad at Paul and them because they didn't appraise their property, up because they're trying to sell it. And then you got people that look at it, and some of them did go up. Some of the square footage of different houses, like 3,000 square foot houses or whatever, or 1,800 to 2,000. And so you got both people there, both groups of people, but. All in all, what we look at, is our millage rate, is actually what it takes to run this county, and you've got to look at that number. You got to look at the economy. You got to project it, what's going on.
And you will be setting that millage rate.
Oh yeah, we've got, and that'll be advertised. It will be said, there'll be meetings and all that, and all that. But right now, a lot of times this time of the year, you get that gut feeling. You look, and which fortunately, if you look back, we've had very few tax increases in the last 12, 15 years. I mean, really. But you look at everything, and you look at your tax digest. You wait till it comes in, and you look. But with all the numbers we've got, and we've been really monitoring this, and even with COVID out there, and the effects of that, we feel pretty confident, in our financial standing.
The good thing as far as property taxes is concerned and the revenue, the COVID-19 doesn't have anything to do with that. I mean, it's not
really,
going to. Other than the fact that you may need to get money from property owners that you couldn't necessarily get from sales tax, but the good thing about it seems to be because everybody started buying groceries when other services went down, that the sales tax seems to
that's it.
Be okay.
That's the whole thing. That's where it can affect
so far.
you. That's where it can affect you. Is
Right.
actually if it affected these businesses and it did lower the actual the collection of these sales tax and all. But right now, if you look at everything, it's really it's pretty well staying kind of level. If not, some of the restaurants, some of the fast food, they're doing better. They had some of the highest sales volume they've ever had. Doing the drive-through. So look at McDonald's.
I've had more than one.
I'm telling you,
of our eating establishments with drive-throughs, and they say they during this time have experienced opening day type.
That's what and that's
So,
unbelievable. I mean, it's just unreal.
Well,
but
folks are they're unable to go out to and sit down, or where they are now, but for a couple of months was unable to go out and sit down at a restaurant. So you didn't want to continue fixing at home. So drive-throughs were that was where you went. And it's proved good from for the restaurants that had drive-through or takeout, or even I know that Thatcher's on the Square, they didn't have a drive-through, but they come out, took your order, went back, fixed it, brought it to you. So in the same way, or you can call ahead. So that's good news, and that'll be coming up here in the next few weeks.
Next few weeks,
set the millage rate for the property tax.
That's right, and which I really feel good about that, and it also revolves back to just being conservative with your money, being tight with the way we spend money, and we are very tight with the money that we spend. I'm not, when I say we, I'm not just talking about the commission, but we're talking about all your elected officials, all your constitutional officers. They're really, I say that over and over because it's really, it's a good feeling to know that you're working with a group of people that are here for the right reason, and they're not out there. They don't wait. If they've got $100,000 left over at the end of their budget, they don't say, "Man, I've got $100,000. We got to spend this." They don't look at it that way. They're proud. They're proud that, hey, look, we've come this much under budget. A lot of places I've seen, they do that. They'll look right at the last and they say, "Golly, I've got this much money. Let's go spend this before." That's not the way it works. That's not the way anyone should ever look at it. And we've got.
If we could only get the federal government, which I'm not optimistic at all that they would ever now pass a balanced budget amendment. I mean, a lot of folks maybe not follow it, but local governments, cities, counties, and state governments are required.
That's right.
To not spend no more than they take in.
That's right. And that's the way it should be.
But the federal government doesn't have to abide by those guidelines, and that's why we're $24 trillion in debt, or will be.
It's sad, but that's just the way it is. But anyway, if anyone has any questions, they can call and talk to me, call our office, about any of that, and I'll be glad to talk to them as always. That.
Goes in our weekly updates too. That millage rate update will cover in our weekly updates.
Oh yeah.
And that'll be coming up. Carrie was just saying that you do a weekly town hall type of update every Thursday, and that'll be this afternoon, I believe, at
3 o'clock. That's right.
And then,
yeah. But another thing, I want to mention, this is one thing. One of them is minor. I mean, I guess but we've had several calls, and I don't know if we've been running this on the radio or whatever, but the fireworks at New Salem, it is off. Okay, I want to be sure because Rodney, we talked about that because because there's a lot of people attend that. It's a special event every year, but it is off. They're not doing it because of COVID, 19.
I mean, the reason, and I've talked to Rodney a couple of times, they had to make the decision back when the COVID first came out
in March.
And not knowing at that point in time, we didn't know when we would be able to have any type of gatherings, and it's thousands of dollars. So they couldn't make that commitment not knowing, because they would have been out that Monday. That volunteer organizations out there that that puts that on every year. So
that's true.
Now the city of Trenton, here in the city of Trenton, the even though that the 1945 Dade County Fair has been postponed to the 18th of July, the fireworks for that event will take place that evening on July the 4th. So there will be some local fireworks.
Yeah, there'll be people
on the 4th of July, which turns out to be a Saturday this year.
That's true.
But there will not be the normal. And I know you've been there almost every year. I've emceed it all, but maybe one time I was out of the area. And that's been going on for over 30 years. That's
right. I don't know of any. I can't remember missing one really. I mean, not really. But it's just a big event, a good event. It's free, and the people enjoy it, and it's special. But another thing I want to mention for you, I know we don't have much time, but is is the health department. We mentioned this a few weeks ago about this contact tracing that the health department or the state of Georgia's come out with, and really, if you actually, we got a lot of people being tested every day. I mean, sometimes there's a line out there now, but if you test positive and you come back positive, a lot of people say, well, what am I supposed to do? 14 days, okay. But what you need to think about is also, who have you been around, and who are you around? What I do, what do you do? I mean, if you got kids at home, call the health department, and there's this thing called contact tracing. They've got a really good video that you can watch. And try to work with them. It's nothing to do with invading your privacy. What it is they try to find out. Yes, did you go to church, or did you go? Were you in a restaurant? Were you around 20 people here? So it's pretty interesting, to go online, go to the, or if you call the health department, they can tell you how to go on and get this video. But it's just a short thing, but it's pretty interesting to watch it, and and because we got a couple, we've got one deputy that came back yesterday. He'd been out for like 2 or 3 weeks for this, and and thank goodness he's back wide open working, nothing that's wrong. But if you've got those questions about that, and if you are from a work atmosphere, if you do are working, this will answer your questions of what you need to do and what you should do. Okay.
All right. And I know that Kerry's got a lot of that information posted on the county's website, and you'll be able to go and take a look at that. And Kerry, that is Dade
County-ga.gov.
Dade County ga.gov.
Yep.
All right, Commissioner, thank you so much for
thank you
for being
so
here
much.
on the Newsmaker segment as we talk county government. Give us your phone number.
667-8999, area code 423. That's my cell number, and I'll answer that phone 24 hours, 7 days a week. If you need me for anything, I'm there for you, as all the commissioners are. I say that every week, and we do mean that. We are public servants. We're here to serve you. 657-4625, that's our office phone. And if there's no one there, if that phone, if it's on a Sunday, Saturday, or holiday, it'll go right into the recording. If you'll listen to the end of that recording, it'll give you my number to call.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds good. And we will see you back here on the program next Thursday.
Thanks a lot.
Dade County Executive Ted Rumley in the studio with us, talking county government as he does every Thursday.